Mark and Eve's relationship has always been very tumultuous, but we all know that despite all the difficulties in a hero's life, they love each other very much. Of course, not everything is rosy, and they go through tough times to keep their relationship and family together. Let's see what happened to Eve and how it unfolded. It all begins when Mark returns from an unwanted time travel trip. He spends a few weeks in the past and then returns to his present time. When he arrives at his home in Telescria, he finds Eve on the balcony. She is startled to see him and looks very surprised. He apologizes for scaring her and begins to explain. Eve is perplexed and speechless. He starts talking about living a few weeks in the past, where Eve was still with Rex, and how a creature that sent him there said he needed to restore balance. But he says he chose to return to his time and leave the rest behind. Mark asks to see Tara, his daughter. Eve reveals that she is inside, and when he turns to look, he is very surprised. Tara is all grown up. Mark is devastated and in tears, saying he wished he had been with her every day and that a lot of time has passed. Eve also cries, unable to believe that Mark is really there. They hug. After some time, Mark starts to notice that Eve is distant but says nothing. He is just too happy to be with his family again. Later, Mark and Eve decide to move to another planet and build a house there. Mark tries to hug Eve and kiss her, but she refuses. She reveals that 5 years have passed since Mark disappeared. She also reveals that this was a long time and that many things happened and changed since he vanished. Mark explains that for him, only a few weeks have passed, and he struggles to understand how much this affected Eve. She reveals that it's not just that, but that there was someone else in her life. His name was Cubian, and Telia introduced them. She says that they weren't together for long, and that it happened 4 years after Mark disappeared but had recently ended. Mark seems devastated. He says she doesn't need to explain or apologize because 5 years is a long time. He hugs her and says he loves her no matter what. Later, when Alan is badly injured, Eve, Tara, and Mark visit him in the hospital. There, they encounter Telia and Cubian, Eve's ex. Eve is very angry, and Mark seems confused at first but soon understands. Look at the look on his face. Oh geez. They try to leave, and Mark, very understanding, asks if that was, and she confirms. Cubian appears and says he is leaving but asks to talk to Eve alone. She asks him to speak in front of Mark. Cubian says she is a vibrant, energetic creature and that she deserves to be happy. He adds that it makes him ill to know she lets archaic familial obligations weigh her down and that she should live for herself. He also says that he knows Mark could never make her feel the way he did. Ouch, things are getting weird. Eve doesn't let him finish and punches him in the face. Tara seems quite excited. Then we have Tara telling her Uncle Oliver how her mother punched Cubian, with Mark right beside them, telling Tara that hitting people is not cool. Oliver says that Mark loved the fact that Eve hit him. Mark explains that he doesn't hate the guy, but that it's good to know where they stand, and that he and Eve haven't had much chance to talk about it. Telia appears and says that Eve loved her brother, that they were good for each other, and that he made her happy. But the problem was that Eve was very attached to her daughter, Tara. She says her people have no patience with children, and that Eve chose Tara over him. Oliver scolds Telia for saying that in front of Tara, and Mark seems regretful about wanting to know more. Eve returns, and Tara asks if she killed the guy. That was the story, folks. Pretty intense, right? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.